friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and welcome to this week's Sunday Reset. As usual, it's late, it's 3:30 and I have been working on things, trying to finish up Halloween decorating so that I can get the bins back downstairs. It's been a week since I told you I was gonna do that and I'm still trying. It has been a very busy week and I want to thank all of you for your fantastic support on my very first ever Prime Day video. You guys were really supportive and seemed to really like it. So that was fun. It was fun to share with you some of my absolute favorite Amazon products. So glad you guys are here. Let's go ahead and get started. Really quickly, I wanted to just show you my shirt. So this is a new find. Danny and I just did Salem and I found this shirt there. It was in a new store and I can't remember what it's called, but I will try to remember. I did film it, so you'll be seeing that later this week. But isn't it cute? So I'm gonna try to enjoy it as much as I can. These are also my boys' football colors, so I'm gonna try to wear it there as well. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get some cleaning done. It is late. I just wanna do some overall cleaning. My office is a disaster, so I need to clean up in there. I need to clean the bathrooms, just like some overall cleaning. And I really need to get to my pantry. My pantry is falling apart, and like the cabinets in my kitchen, because they're just overflowing. And I haven't been able to do that yet because I've been trying to finish other things first. You know what I mean? It's like that if you give a mouse a cookie thing. Like I just got to do these other things before I can get to that. So we're getting there one step at a time. So anyway, let's get some cleaning done. Okay, my friends, we're going to jump right back into our Q&A questions and try to plow through a few more of these. We've got some good ones for today. So the first one is, are you the only child? Yes, I am. I do not have any siblings. My mom actually had precancerous cells, and so she had to have a full hysterectomy pretty young, and I am an only child. So I do wish that I had a sibling. I actually talk about it with Danny all the time, and you know, that was probably one of the driving factors in me having a large family. But yes, I am an only child. The next question is, did you always love self-care, or is it something you have to do and learn to love? That's a really good question. I think it really depends on the person. I have always loved self-care. I remember being in the 5th grade and getting a little like portable bathtub jacuzzi situation for Christmas. It was like this little jet that you put on the side of the tub that I could enjoy while I was in the bathtub. And I used to listen to Celine Dion. And then one day I started listening to Norah Jones, and like I was such a little indie girl when I was little. But yes, I have always loved self-care. But I think that, you know, self-care looks so different for every person. It doesn't necessarily look like hot baths and face masks. It could look like, you know, going for a walk, or you know, just doing something for yourself, a hot cup of tea or a really good meal that you love, a book, whatever you can do to, you know, relax and take care of yourself. Let's see. Next question is your goal weight still 100 pounds off? What size are you now, and measurements? So my goal, yes, is definitely 100 pounds. I think that that's a nice round number, and that will be fun to be able to say that I've lost 100 pounds. I'm currently sitting at 91 pounds down, but I fluctuate a couple of pounds up and down. This week, I have not been very good about weightlifting, and so I'm down, but I've weightlifted the last 2 days, and I am back up a pound. So take that for what you will. I have gone down a size in pants though, so I'm now currently wearing size 8 pants and typically a medium to a large shirt. I do have several smalls though, so it just depends on the clothing. But my goal is definitely 100 pounds. Honestly, my goal is I want to be in a healthy BMI. So right now I'm still in the overweight category, so I'm working towards that. Okay, the next question is, hi Tiffany, have you ever thought about changing your curtains like seasonal to go with your decor? I haven't. I haven't thought about that. I have thought about changing the curtains in my living room. I would like to put in those really nice, like natural woven shades in all of my windows, especially in like the great room area, like the dining room and the living room. There's a lot of windows in there, and some of them are really big, like picture windows. So it's definitely going to be an investment, but I just think that that would look really nice. So I haven't thought about that though. Next question says, have you ever thought about taking up running? I have. When I was younger, when I was preparing for my wedding and I was going to the gym every day. That was the last time I can remember working out as hard as I am now. I would run sometimes. I would get terrible shin splints because I run funky because I have arthritis in my feet. My doctor really doesn't even want me walking. It's definitely much better now that I've lost weight, but it's not great on my feet. But I do not enjoy running. I am a larger chested lady and it's not very comfortable to run. And I always joke that if you see me running, you better start running as well because something's coming. The next question is, how did you fix it when stalled on losing weight? Well, I'm stalled right now, I feel like. I'm not losing pounds. I'm definitely losing pant size. I never took like inch measurements and I'm really bummed about it. I wish that I had, but I am going down in pant size, in shirt size. So I know that things are moving, but when I have stalled in the past, I have put a ton of focus on nutrition. So just making sure that I'm staying within my caloric boundaries and, keeping track of everything that I'm eating, trying to focus on good protein, maybe a little less sugars, and definitely no drinking. So no cocktails. I know there was a comment in a recent video about drinking on a GLP-1. So my doctor just basically explained to me that drinking and losing weight do not go hand in hand. Like when you're trying to lose weight, you shouldn't be drinking. So I just try to limit it, but I like a good cocktail. And life is short. I'm not going to deprive myself of something that I want because I'm on a diet. I'm going to work out and find ways to find balance and do it appropriately. So, but when I find myself stalled, I will be very mindful of what I'm eating, if I'm drinking, and just making sure that I'm getting a lot of exercise in. The next question is, what traditions do you do during the Christmas holidays? I would say a big one for us is looking at Christmas lights. We love to go look at Christmas lights. We love to watch Christmas movies, all the same tropes that everybody else does. We do. I don't think that we really have any specific to our family. One thing that I love to do every year, and I've already started this year, is to get my kids, everybody in the family actually, a personalized ornament that just kind of shows like things that they're interested in this year. And in that bag is actually the ornaments that I bought for my family this year. I already bought them. But that's really, really fun to buy ornaments that are like specific to kind of where they're at in life. A tradition that we used to have, me and Michaela, was to watch the Nutcracker every year, like to go and see the Nutcracker every year. When we lived in Las Vegas, we would go watch it at our local library, and it was wonderful. But here, I haven't found a good one except for the Boston Ballet, and that's expensive. And that's really expensive. So we've only done that once, but I'm thinking that I'd like to do it again this year. We haven't done it in many, many years. So since we moved here, actually since COVID. So definitely would like to do that again. Next question is, what do you love about the East Coast people? It's a really good question. That's fun. Well, let's just say that people in Massachusetts are called massholes for a reason. No, I'm just kidding. I will tell you that we have had, a pretty good, easy transition moving from the West Coast to here. The tricky part about living on this side of the country is that most of the people that live here have lived here their whole lives. And so they have like established relationships and friendship groups and long-term, long lifetime relationships. And so it can be kind of hard to infiltrate that, if you will. No, I don't know a better word. That's not the right word, but you know what I mean. But one of the things that I would say that I love about people here on the East Coast is just their love of like tradition and their town and their family. You know what I mean? Like there's a term here, somebody is a townie, and that's not a phrase that I had ever heard before. And that's just people who, you know, are born and raised and live in the same town, you know, their whole lives. And I really love how much people love their towns, and that's a lot of fun. I just want to make a note that what I'm doing here is moving around these bags. I have done some Christmas shopping that I'm going to share with you guys, some Christmas decor shopping, so stay tuned. That's going to come probably later this week. Okay, next question. Ever fall off the wagon on a GLP-1? I have not. Sure. I haven't. Sure to increase since I haven't done good. I have. Oh, okay. I have. Not too sure increase since I haven't done good. Okay. Yes and no when it comes to falling off the wagon. I've never really put myself on the wagon other than trying to stay under my calorie usage every day. So just being in a calorie deficit. So I have not put myself on a strict diet because I don't do well with that. I have ADHD and anxiety, and when I feel like I cannot eat what I want or do what I want when it comes to food, I panic, and I find myself like wanting food, craving food, binging on food that I, think I'm never going to have again. And that is a terrible relationship with food. And so when I started on the GLP-1, I vowed that I would not do that anymore. And I wouldn't treat, food as a once in a lifetime situation. And that has been such a game changer for me. And it's allowed for me to enjoy things in moderation, and I use exercise as my leverage. So if I know I want to eat or I know I want to have some good sugary cocktails, I'm going to work out really hard so that I can give myself that leeway and build in those extra calories for the day. So yes, I've fallen off the wagon in the sense that there have been weeks like this past week where I was terrible about exercising. I'll look at old pictures of myself or go back and look at old videos and remind myself of how far I've come and remind myself that I have to stay on top of these good habits if I want them to last. The next question is, what are your tips on starting a YouTube channel in 2025? Ooh, good question. I have an entire playlist about my tips for starting a YouTube channel. My number one tip is just do it. Don't listen to anybody tell you that, the market is saturated or that YouTube is fading. Couldn't be further from the truth if you do the research. This is where it's at. Social media, this type of marketing is where it's at. It is so fun to be a content creator and be able to make your own schedule and be creative. It's just changed my life in so many ways I can't even tell you. But my just number one tip is just do it. Even if you're scared, even if you think you don't have what it takes, even if you film from your phone, you don't know how to edit, you don't know what you're doing, there is a YouTube video for everything, and just do it. Just put yourself out there and be authentic. Be yourself. Be as true to yourself as you possibly can, because that is going to always shine through. If you show up and you try to please everybody or you try to be someone you're not, it's not going to come off as authentic and you're going to burn out. And it's so not fair to you to be anything other than yourself. So be authentic, do it scared, do it anyway, and check out my entire playlist on YouTube and my tips and tricks for having a successful channel, because I think that those are some very good, helpful videos, and I think that you'll get a lot of information there that you're looking for. The next question is, can you explain the name Charlotte Grove? I absolutely can. I feel like I've talked about this a few times, but I never get tired of it. Charlotte was the name of my best friend growing up. She was incredible and love her to pieces. She was maid of honor in my wedding, just such a cool and amazing person. And she passed away a couple of days before her 30th birthday from complications with a blood clot. And she was not married. She had no kiddos. It just is so incredibly sad. And I told myself that I was going to name my next daughter after her, but I did not have another daughter. And so I did name my dog Charlie after her. I didn't feel right naming her Charlotte because I didn't want to name my dog after my best friend. I don't know. I just felt kind of shady. But when we bought this house, or, we found the land, we were walking down what is now our driveway to go see the land, the lot. A cardinal was up in the tree, like singing. And I just instantly felt like she was with me, and she was saying like, this is it, this is your home. And so I changed the name of my channel to Charlotte Grove Farmhouse and named our house that. And I love it. Never looked back. Okay, last question for today's video is if you could pick a dream date night. Oh, you know what? I'm going to actually save that. I'm going to save that for when I talk to Danny or when I do a video with him, because I think that would be a really good question for him. Okay, so last question then is, do all of the kids have chores? Yes, they do. Everybody has chores, even my big kids, even my 16 and a half, almost 17-year-old and my almost 19-year-old. Everybody has household contributions that they do. And we have done it 1 million different ways. My oldest is almost 19. My youngest is 10. You can only imagine the different chore systems we have had in our house over the years. My recommendation is find what works for you and your family. No one knows how your house functions but you. You and your significant other, or you and your partner. You are the only people who know how things work in your house. You're the only people who know what types of systems will work in your home. So while I feel it incredibly informative and helpful to talk to your friends, your parents, to look on Pinterest, to, Google or ask ChatGPT for different ideas on how to set up chore systems, find the ones that work for you and your family. Like I said, nobody knows your family, nobody knows your schedule, your calendar, how things work in your household. I also don't think there's any such thing as right and wrong when it comes to doing, allowance. Some people don't believe in paying their children to do things that are just regular household contributions. Other people believe in, yes, paying your children, but helping them save and, spend a little. I have done it a bunch of different ways. We've done it where they've earned like privileges when they were little. They didn't necessarily earn money, but they would earn, being able to pick the movie on Friday night or pick dessert or help mommy cook dinner, those types of things. But I have found the best motivator in my house for my children is money. They are most highly motivated by money that they can spend on whatever it is that they want to spend it on. If that's, on their video games like Roblox or whatever, or going to, Walmart. I've helped them save for things, but it's their money to do with what they want. And I just feel like that allows for them to have a healthy relationship with money, because growing up, in a situation where you don't have access to any money, when you finally do, you might find yourself very eager to spend it and maybe not making the best best decisions when it comes to money. So I let them do what they want with their money, and that's what works for me and my family. But you've got to find what works for you and yours. But yes, everybody has contributions. Everybody has chores. Everybody does something around the house, even my oldest who's in college and working. So yeah. Okay, my friends, that's going to do it for this week's Sunday Reset. I hope that you found this motivating and relaxing at the same time. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what Clean With Me videos do for me, and I hope that's what it did for you. I hope you guys are having a beautiful October. The leaves are changing here like crazy. Monday, we are going to go on a drive and just go look at all of the fall foliage, and I'm going to bring you along. So stay tuned. You'll be seeing that later this week or early next week. So hope you guys have the most beautiful week. Take care of yourselves. Subscribe if you aren't already. It's free to subscribe to my channel, and I post 4, 5, 6 new videos every single week. And hopefully I will get to see you in the next one. Take care, my friends. We'll see you soon.